in Washington society. I'm fascinated by crimes in which I could see myself as the victim. Not that I literally see myself as a victim, mind you, but I think we all wonder how we would react in a really dicey situation. As the symphony played on, I thought back on my life, wondering if I'd ever known anyone who'd committed murder, or been an accomplice to one. That had always been a question in my mind. Would I recognize evil if it came close? The music ended to rapturous applause. Jed Jimson, the slick chairman of the Kennedy Center, walked out onto the stage into the spotlight. A tall, silver-haired man of 60, Jimson always looked irritatingly smug. He adjusted the standing microphone, then gazed out at the audience as if we were guests in his living room. "Well, friends," he began with the folksy confidence of a talk show host, "was that a great concert or what?" Jimson turned to applaud the orchestra sitting at ease behind him. As the audience enthusiastically joined him, he swept a hand toward the wings. Leonid Slobodkin, the temperamental conductor of the Capitol Symphony, walked out from behind the curtain, gave a stiff bow, and retreated out of sight. Jimson went on. "Ladies and gentlemen, the Kennedy Center is not only the cultural center of Washington, D.C., it is also America's cultural center. Built in 1967, this great complex is now well into middle age, and, like many of us here tonight, showing the effects of long service to this country." Polite laughter. "As all of you here know only too well, we're always trying to raise money for our beloved center, which is in dire need of a facelift." Uncomfortable titters. "Thanks to many of you, we've had success in maintaining our wonderful symphony orchestra as well as our ballet, opera, and theater companies. But we have not had sufficient funds to begin the vast construction project that is necessary to adequately house America's busiest center for the performing arts." As he cleared his throat, Violet nudged me and whispered, "Here it comes." "Tonight, I have a very special announcement to make. It is my great honor and pleasure to tell you that the Kennedy Center has just received an historic grant for the purpose of refurbishing, renovating, and adding on to the complex." He paused for effect. "A gift of $100 million. A split second of silence was followed by gasps from the audience, then a cascade of applause. Over the clapping, Jimson cried, "Yes! Isn't that amazing?" so loudly that feedback screeched over the sound system. No one cared. The applause continued until Jimson shushed the crowd. "And now I want to introduce you to the exceptional person whose foundation has made this historic gift possible." He paused again, milking the moment as if it were the announcement of an Academy Award. Finally, he said, "Ladies and gentlemen, please say a warm thank you on behalf of the Kennedy Center, on behalf of the American people, and on behalf of all of us here tonight, to Ms. Cynthia Reinhardt. Cynthia, will you please stand up?" Jimson thrust his arm forward and pointed down at the orchestra section. A spotlight hit the middle of the fourth row. A woman stood up and turned to face the auditorium. As the applause grew louder, she seemed to brace herself, as if she understood that she was now the focus of attention, curiosity, and more than a little envy. She was no beauty, but she was striking. With her pale skin, bright green eyes, and russet hair, she was exotic and sleek, an Abyssinian cat among the dowdy squirrels of Washington. I took special note of her chunky diamond earrings, rocks of Gibraltar on prongs, clearly designed to illuminate her bank account as much as her face. They were the sorts of jewels that draw the attention of people who usually notice little else but themselves. She had a voluptuous body that she simultaneously advertised and hid under a tight-fitting black dress, slim at the hips, straining across the bust. An enigmatic smile fluttered on her lips, as if she relished both the spotlight and the ill will.